point 8 minus 4 and minus 1, 3 are the endpoints of the life segment AB. So what I do in the case of this is I just imagine a rough XY axis, okay? Doesn't have to be completely accurate, okay? And 8 minus 4 would be like 8 across, 4 down, and minus 1, 3 would be here. So that's where B is, and A would be 8 across, 4 down, okay? Now, C divides AB in the ratio of 4:1. So if I join AB together, like so, the deal is that it has to be further away from the distance from A to C. So C is a movable point, okay? It'll have to be 4 times longer. The distance from A to C is 4 times longer than the distance from B to C. So it'll be somewhere in this region here. Okay. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to analyze the Y values. Okay. So first thing we notice about the Y values. Oh, sorry. Completely wrong with this. B is actually 1, 3. Okay. And great start. And then A up there. So just always recheck your value. So once again, in this case, C has to be much further away from A compared to B. It's going to be a lot closer to B than it is to A. So it's like if this was a distance of, it's a ratio of 4:1. Okay, doesn't mean it's a length of 4. It means it's 4 times bigger than BC. AC is 4 times bigger than BC. So just remember that. Okay. Now here's what we're going to do. We're going to analyze 3 all the way up to minus 4. 3 down to minus 4. That's 7 to the Y value. Okay. So you're going 7 to the Y value when you go A to B. The next thing, you're going left, okay? And you're going left from 8 to minus 1. That's across 9 to X. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to divide up this ratio. I'm going to add the two ratios together to get 5. And what will happen is it will be 4/5 of the total distance across. So I'm going to get 4/5 of 7. And I'm going to get 4/5 of 9. Okay? And 4/5 of 7 is, what's it, 0.8 multiplied by 7? It's going to be 5.6. And 4/5 of 9 is going to be 7.2. So all I have to do is grab the point A, okay, and it's going left. So I'm going to take away 7.2. So it's going to be 8 take away 7.2 for the X value. And for the Y value, it's going to be minus 4. But because it's going upwards, it's going up 7. It's going to be minus 4 plus 5.6. And that will give me an answer of 0.8 and 1.6, which is roughly this point here. Okay, and I'll just go and check the American scheme. I always check your American schemes, and that is correct. Now, I'm also going to show you a second way of doing the same question. I know some lads favor the formula when doing this type of question. So if you go to your formula on page, bottom of page 18, you'll see the following formula here. And then you have by1 plus ay2 all over b plus a. Okay, now first thing you're going to do is try and keep it in order. I'd call A, it's usually sorted on alphabetical order wise, so I'm going to do A is x1, y1, and B is x2, y2. And it says ratio A is to B, so we're going to do exactly as we read it. Small a will be 4 and big B will be 5, because it says it in the notes in the ratio A is to B. So we're just going to put in our numbers here. So it's going to be 4 times 8 plus, sorry, it's bx1, excuse me, bx1. So it's going to be B is 1, x1 is 8, A is 4, and a is 4, and x2 is minus 1. That's going to be all over b plus a, which is going to be 4 plus 1. And then the next one is going to be by1, which is going to be 1 times minus 4. And then it's going to be plus ay2, which is going to be 4 times y2, which is 4 times 3, all over 4 plus 1. The first value is going to come in at 4 over 5, which is what we got earlier, 0.8. And the next value is going to come at 8 over 5, which is 1.6. So both methods work reasonably well. Okay. The line L has a slope that contains the point QR, where M, Q, and R are element R. This means M, Q, and R are just regular numbers, like they could be decimals, they could be fractions, but they are all positive. Okay. Find the coordinates of the point where it cuts the x-axis in terms of M, Q, and R. Okay, I'm going to find the equation of the line first. So what you usually do is you have the equation of the line, and where it hits the y-axis, the x value is 0. The x value is always 0 anywhere along the y-axis. So I'm going to go to page 18. I'm going to take out the equation of the line formula, like so. And what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to get y. Now pick any point on the line. We have QR, so it's going to be y minus r equals m. M is the slope, so just call it m. And then we call it x minus x1, so it's going to be m minus q. And I'll just call that mx minus mq, and u can be y minus r. Now I need to find the y value when the x value is 0. So I'm going to replace x with 0. So this value here is going to get replaced with 0. I'm going to end up with y equals, move the r out the other side, it's going to be r minus mq. Okay, and that type of question there just went for like 5 marks. Okay, so y equals r minus mq. Now we're going to move on to the next question now. C. The line K has a slope of minus 2. The line J makes an angle of 30 degrees with K. Okay, so minus 2 would be a slope of 2 down and 1 across. So this type of slope here. See the way it's going 2 down, 1 across, 2 down, 1 across. That's a slope of minus 2. Now there's another line that makes an angle of 30 degrees with it. Okay, so the second line will be this dotted line here. For argument's sake, I'm just going to cut it somewhere like this. And that would mean that this here is 30 degrees. Now, that's cool, right? Now, it says one possible value of the slope. There might be more than one possible value of the slope you could do. Okay. Now, there's a formula for this. Okay, it's called two lines intersecting each other, and it's on top of page 19. And the formula is in your tables on top of page 19 is tan theta equals plus or minus m1 minus m2 all over 1 plus m1 m2. Now, we know that m1 is minus 2 because that's the slope of the first line. The second slope we don't know. We do not know what m2 is. That's the point. We're trying to find the slope of the second line. So m2 therefore is the goal of the question. Okay. Now we do know the angle that both of them make together. So theta is the angle between both lines. So it's going to be tan 30 equals plus or minus 2 minus m2. You can call m2 just m if you want, you don't want to keep writing the 2 down because we're going to find out what it is. The subscript 2 that is, and then it's going to be 1, and then that's going to be minus 2 times m, so it's going to be 1 minus 2m. Now, what I'm inclined to do to get rid of the plus and minus part, I'm just going to square both sides, okay? Now, tan 30 when you log into the calculator is root 3 over 3. It depends if you use your tables or not. Okay, so root 3 over 3 is actually the same as 1 over root 3. You can get it in this is what it looks like in the calculator, and this is what it looks like in your tables. Now, either way, I'm going to square both sides. So square both sides. When you square root 3, we get 3. When you square 3 squared, you get 9. And then 3 over 9 is 1 over 3. Squaring the other side is going to be a bit more difficult because I have to square both brackets out, top and bottom. Okay. And so, okay. So, just the way I'm electing to do it. So let's square this out. So I'm doing -2 minus n by another -2 minus m. And what I'm supposedly going to get here is going to be 4 plus 4m plus m squared. And then on the bottom, I'm going to get 1 minus 4m plus 4m squared. And in both cases, I'm multiplying the bracket out twice. Okay. Happy days with that. Now, going to cross multiply. Going to multiply 1 minus 4m plus 4m squared by the 1. So I'm going to get 1 minus 4m plus 4m squared. I'm going to multiply the 3 up here. And I'm going to get 12 plus 12m plus 3m squared. 4m squared take away 3m squared is m squared. The minus 12m comes over here, so it takes away from the 4m, so I get minus 16m. And then 12, 1 take away 12 is minus 11. Now I'm looking at this and going, this looks like a minus b formula, where a is 1, b is minus 16, minus b therefore is plus 16, and my c value is minus 11. And then we're just going to put it all into the calculator. And we're going to get the minus b formula, that is, so it's going to be 16 plus or minus the square root of minus 16 squared minus 4 times 1 times minus 11 all over 2 times 1. We're going to go direct into the calculator with this. Press this button first, go 16 plus square root minus 16 squared minus 4 times 1 times minus 11. And what we should get there is a plus 5 root 3. So a plus 5 root 3 is one slope, and the other slope is obviously when you do the minus version. So we only ask for one slope, but look, here's 2 slopes. Okay, and they're both the answers, okay? And you might have them in decimal form yourself if you want. And once again, always refer to the marking scheme, and that's it, got it done there. Now that took me 12 minutes now showing you both methods, but yeah, it's a decent level question, that one.